Okay, very good. Okay, thank you so much for joining us for Community Quotes today. If I can have you say and spell your first and last name for us.
Okay, my name is Devin James. That's Devin James.
Okay, Devin, thank you so much again for being here. Tell me a little bit about where you grew up.
Okay, I grew up on the north side of Lafayette, and that's on Priscilla Circle. That's by Alice Boucher, the elementary, a little small neighborhood, quiet neighborhood, and
Do you have any siblings?
yes, ma'am. I have 2 sisters, and that's it. I'm the only boy. I'm the baby boy.
You're
So,
the baby
yes,
boy.
ma'am.
Were you spoiled a little bit?
A little bit. I was the mama's boy. You know how that is.
Yeah.
The girls is the daddy's girls, and the boys is the mama. You know, the mama's boys. That's how it is.
Yeah. So you said you went to, you lived in the north side of town.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school at Alice Boucher Elementary. I went to Acadian Middle, and I went to Northside High School.
Okay. What was that experience like?
Fun. I wish I can go back to it. 'Cause once you graduate, it's like your friends go their own ways, and that's just how everything be.
All right. Did you have any favorite teachers while you were there?
I did. My art teacher, that was my favorite teacher because we always had the same idea. Every time we had something like a project to work on, we always had to give our own details and ideas. And every time I gave her my idea, she loved it. As into sketch, like to have somebody like stand up by a wall and turn sideways and to draw the outlines of their, you know, like the size of their head, like the forms and everything. We always did everything good.
Nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, and I know you're a very artistic person, and I see
Yes,
that you
ma'am.
have some tattoos on your arms. You want
Yes,
to tell us a
ma'am.
little bit about each of those and what's the
Okay.
inspiration behind
Okay,
them?
Lord, I'm gonna start off with my very first tattoo, and that's
Okay.
on my right arm. That's a music symbol.
Okay.
Music symbol. The reason why I started with music, why? Because I had an uncle that's deceased, and that was his dream, was to always do music. He was under a label, Double L Records. His name was D Flat, and when he passed away, you know, I was so young, and you know, his kids and my cousin, we all wanted to do music. So I got into it. I learned the flow. So I said my first tattoo is gonna be a music symbol. Second one, I have a microphone right here. The reason why I have a microphone is because I don't also just rap music. I perform it too. Like I engineer it. I mix and master. Like, you know, I make the music. That's something I like to do. So I have a microphone right here. That also symbolizes that I'm good with microphones. I have this bird right here with a music symbol right here. That's claim. The reason why I have that one is because I want my music to travel. When I make music, I want it to, like, the birds to fly and spread my, you know, my music symbols all over the world. That's why I have my my bird symbol right here. If y'all can see it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And that's the only one I have right now with music, and I have my prayer symbols. You know, everybody need their prayer. Prayer is good for everybody.
Are you a very religious person?
I grew up in it. I grew up in it. I should be more into it like I'm supposed to be, but I am. I just, you know, life, things happen in life, you know, situations. I pray a lot, but yes, ma'am.
And going back to music and your love of music, what do you do? Are you a songwriter? Do you like to play music? Do you like to sing?
Do it all.
You do
like,
it all.
Like I said, my brand is Shabbat Do What Dreams Come True.
Okay.
As in, like, it don't matter what you want to do. You want to record a song, we could record a song. You want to do a video, we could do a video. You know what I'm saying? I do it all. I've been doing that. Okay. So it's like I do it all. And on the other side too, I do music too. Like, I got songs too. Like, so that's how I can relate to other artists when they're in the studio, when they have problems, like trying to do their verse or anything. You know, I help them out because I can relate to them because I was on both sides of the scene.
Okay. Well, I know that you recently joined AOC, so thank you for
Yes,
your
ma'am.
membership here. What are you looking to get out of being a member at AOC?
What I'm looking at again is to improve my skills, because just being over here and having to get access to all the equipment, and you know, like it betters myself, like it betters my name. You know, it makes me look more professional using the professional programs. You know, the Mac. You know, everything that's good program to use for anybody that's, you know, that want to start their own production or own anything. So like, I heard about it through a friend. I ain't never knew this was the AOC was right here. I ain't know anything about it. So I actually got a tour one time and I seen it. When I seen it, I just fell in love with it. It's like it symbolizes me. Like, me is the AOC. That's me.
Gotcha. Whenever you were a child, were you influenced by music or, musicians? You said you had a relative that
Yes,
was
ma'am.
into music. Tell me about that.
It's just like I never did have a favorite music. Like, I listen to everything, like any genre, like any type of music they have, I listen to, whether it's rock, hip hop, R&B, reggae, pop, anything. I just like it. It's just something that I just love, like the sounds. Like I hear music differently. Like I hear it actually. When I listen to a song, I listen to the words, the flow of the beat, like everything. So it's like when I hear music, it just touches me. It's like I see music more than anybody. I don't know more than anybody, but it's like it's something, a gift God gave me, just to see music.
Gotcha. Who are some of your favorite artists?
My favorite artist is Lord. Ooh, that's
That's a tough one. It's hard to narrow it
I
down,
know.
but your top five.
My top five. Okay. My top five is a young artist. His name is NBA Youngboy. That's one of my favorite artists right now because I watch him start off from small to where he is industry now. And I watch his stories, and I watch, like everybody when they rap, it's a certain type of people that rap. They got people that just rap about anything, or they got people that tell stories. And NBA Youngboy, he's more like of a story type of rapper. Like, when you gotta actually sit down and listen to what he says, and he got great flow to it too. So it's like you can listen to it and you can flow at the same time. He telling a story, and there's some deep stories too. So that's one reason why I like him, because he's not like an average type of artist. Like, he tells, yes, ma'am. Okay, and another one, ooh, Lord, that's about the only one I can say I've been listening to right now.
That's not a problem. Describe for me a typical day in your life. When you wake up in the morning, what happens?
Typical day in my life, family man. I wake up to my kids and my girl and just get dressed, go to work, and it just, like, that's a typical day for me. I get dressed, go to work, my friends call me, they let me know what's the plan, what we could do today. Let's make a movie today, let's make a song today. Like it all depends on how we all feeling that day. That's a typical day. But going to work, come home, being with my kids and my family, that's my life.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I work to Windows on Ambassador, and my second job is my label. When people call me as Shabadu, that's my second job. I call it a job because people want to get with me, so that's my job.
Yeah. What was the very first job that you've had, and what did that teach you?
Very first job I had, I was 16. I was working to McDonald's.
Okay.
And working to McDonald's taught me that it really is like, you gotta work for everything that you want. Like, it ain't really like, if you're gonna work, when you make your own money, you look at things differently. Like, it's like, instead of people actually buying something from you, actually when you buy something that you work hard for, it makes you look at things differently. Like, at first before I had a job, I used to always want to go somewhere, spend unnecessary money on going places that really didn't even matter. But then when I started working, I started putting my money that I know that as my money, I started putting it into stuff that I knew that I really needed, like stuff like, and I started working.
That's good.
Yes,
That's a good lesson to learn. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given in your life?
The best piece of advice, and the reason why I say this, and some people might not look at it, but it might be advice that somebody gave me that I can give to everyone else. If you're young, don't rush to grow up. That's the best advice somebody gave me. Don't rush to grow up, because finish school, you have a life ahead of you. Don't throw your life away for like somebody that, like I say, love life. Don't throw your life away for somebody like, you still got your life ahead of you. Don't rush to grow up, because everything will fall in place. You're gonna meet people doing things that you like to do, and they can help you, do whatever you want to do. That's the best advice I got. Don't rush to grow up. Okay. And when I grew up, I seen exactly what they told me in so many ways.
Gotcha. Well, we live in Cajun country, and a common slogan is "Laissez le bon temps rouler," which means "let the good times roll."
Right.
How do you like to let the good times roll?
Letting the good times roll, I just stay to myself and let everybody, make sure everybody happy and just, cause that's the type of person I am. Like me, I don't know why, but I know a couple of people that's like that. As long as I know that everybody is happy, I'm happy and I'm good. That's by letting the good times roll. Like when I see my family, my kids playing happy and everything, and my wife, they all good, making sure they have a nice roof over their head, a nice meal to eat or whatever. My children got their toys to play with. That's like letting the good times roll with me. Just making sure my family happy. That's good times to me.
Good. Well, and speaking of good times, we also have good food. If you could eat the same thing every day for a month, what would you eat?
Red bean and rice. Red beans and rice. If y'all know me, good, y'all know red beans and rice is my favorite food. I eat it 24/7 all day 24/7, morning to night. That's just red beans and rice with sausages. That's me.
Awesome. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would you change?
What would I change? My way of thinking.
Why?
Cause a old school told me once, change your way of thinking, and I did. Because it's all about what you do and how you do it. So you change your way of thinking. Anything can happen. It's all about how you do it. You have to change your way of thinking. So that's, basically.
Okay. A question that I'm curious to know the answer to. Do you have anything, I know that you're very young, but is there anything that you regret?
Yes.
Okay.
I do regret. And I'm mostly all kids my age probably could relate, but if anybody watching, one thing I regretted was back in the day when I used to be at school, like I used to always want to be like the class clown or whatever. I always want to get a laugh out of somebody. I didn't really want to pay attention, and now that I look at it, like, I regret doing that, because there's some things that I do remember paying attention in school that I still remember to this day, So me, like, being a class clown in class, didn't want to listen or whatever, that basically hurted me in the future. Because some things that I should have been taught, I didn't listen. And for some reason, I don't know, my mama said I was the smartest child. Like, I just passed every grade for some reason. Like, I was take a test and I'll fly. I'm like passing colors, for real. But there's some things still that I wish I could have, regret doing in school, because I knew it would have made me a better person I am today for me and my family. And that's one thing I regret.
Affected, I'm sure, your fellow students and the teacher as well, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And that's one thing I regret. And so you grow up and you get out of that, That's one thing I do regret.
Well, I'm glad that you acknowledge that.
Yes, ma'am.
What's been the favorite vacation of yours? Do you like to travel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
When I was young, when my mom and my dad was together, we took a vacation to Disney World. And as a kid, that was like, that was the best thing you could ever be as a child, to go to Disney World, seeing all the characters, Mickey Mouse, Shrek, everything, like, pop up to you as a child. It's like, it brings your imagination farther than what it is. That's a good.
Yeah, that's a great place to be.
Yes, ma'am.
If you could spend one day in somebody else's shoes, who would it be and why?
If I could spend a day in somebody else's shoes, it'll be my mother.
Okay, why?
Because like I said, I always did look that up to my mother. And and she been through way more than what I've been through. And just to be in her shoes, to get a day in her life, make me appreciate that, I got it probably way better than, like, what she had to do. Like, she paying the bills by herself, raising her kids and nephews and everybody else, by herself, only help, So if I was to spend a day in her shoes, if I can last a day in her shoes, then I know I can last a day in my household. So.
Yeah. What does she think about your career or your music aspirations?
Oh, she love it. I
She's
tell
very
her every day. Like, I just told her today about my interview. She was so happy about it. She wanted to see it as soon as we're done with it. So, like, she very, like, what's the word for it?
Supportive?
Yeah, supportive, man. She's very supportive with it. Like, she ain't never let me down. Even when I first started the music, like, I wasn't always the best because I was the youngest, you know, like
Yeah.
I was young. I was like 11 starting, and I never had a microphone to record nothing. Like I started off from the bottom, and people used to call my music like bad or whatever, but no matter what people used to tell me, she always tell me, you know, I'm gonna help you get what you need to get. That's why she gave me my first computer, you know, she was just supportive. So if it wasn't for my mom, you know, my career wouldn't have been what it is now. I wouldn't have knew what I knew now.
Gotcha. Speaking of people that you look up to, I see that you're wearing a Chicago Bulls
Yes,
shirt. Do you have any sports heroes or athletes that you look
Sports
up to?
hero, my hero. You see, besides sports, I mean, I like basketball and football, but my main sport is boxing. I love boxing. Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather. It was like when I seen this fight, I was young too. When I seen his fight, he was like my superhero. Nobody could have beat him. Like that was just my superhero. And to this day, he's still undefeatable. So he's still my hero in my eyes.
Yeah.
That's somebody I look up to.
Have you ever been to a boxing match before?
No, ma'am. Unfortunately, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
I don't think any boxing matches is keen. Not professionally,
Right.
but local boxing matches, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes,
It's a good sport to keep up with. Do you get involved with any type of charity work or nonprofits in the community? Help out with any projects?
A couple of years back, I volunteered to help at the St. John's, where they go at, where the people go at to go get their food, like free food for the homeless or what. I volunteered to help serve the homeless food or whatever. I did that for like about 2 months, I could say.
Yeah.
And ever since that was like the last time I did that before my career actually started.
Yeah.
So
What
that's
was
I
that like for
doing.
you? What was that experience like?
Like I said, I hate to see people hungry. That's something I don't like. I don't like to see nobody hungry. So for me to help feed somebody, like just seeing them get foods, and then just by them telling me thank you, like, you know, that meant a lot to me. Cause I don't like to see nobody hungry. I don't like to see nobody down, period, you know? So if I can help somebody, especially a stranger, if I can help somebody and see them smile, then that'll make my day just right there. Like I said, as long as I can make sure everybody else straight, I care less if I'm good. That's just me, you know? So just seeing a smile out of that, that's what made me like want to like keep doing it.
You mentioned that you have children.
Yes, ma'am.
How many do you have?
I have 2 and 1 on the way.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, ma'am.
You have 2. Is it a boy and a girl?
I have a boy and a girl. I have a 3-year-old. His name is Justin. I have a 1-year-old. Her name is Javea.
Okay.
And I have 1 on the way. He's due in December, so he's coming soon or whatever. And I'm making him a junior. He's going to be named after me.
Nice. Very good. What has fatherhood taught you?
A lot. It made me a different person. Like, you know, it made, like I told y'all earlier, it made me, when I was 16, I was working for like Jordans and stuff, like, you know, like clothes and stuff. Now I had kids, like I started working like to put my family in the house, go on vacation, like I said, the way of thinking, it just changed, like, cause I got kids now, and like some people don't really notice it, but when you're actually in that situation, like, you know, you're gonna look at things different. You're going to look at a lot of things different. Like, you know, your child, you're going to want to give them clothes, diapers, food, even the young baby bottles, like, you know, they're going to need milk. It's a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it is a lot.
It's fatherhood, and Lord, and as a father, we all, as I'm speaking for all fathers, y'all know how that is, you know, having to be the man of the house, like, you know, like, even for some reason, my kids, they listen to me more than they do their mother, but everybody says because of my voice. You know, my voice gets them. But I'm glad I got that. I could control them with my voice. I could say, stop one time and they stop.
Nice.
And that's good.
That's
like,
good.
You know.
I hope that continues as they get older.
No, I hope so too.
What is something that you want them to know about life?
One thing I want them to know about life, that that's a good question too. That everything is a privilege. That's how I'm gonna tell you. Everything is a privilege. Don't nobody owe you nothing. You know, it's a privilege to do everything that you want to do. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to be living with me. You know what I'm saying? To have anything like that's what I'm saying. Is a privilege, as in, don't do nothing to get your privileges taken away from you. You know, like, we live by laws, you know, like, in order for you to follow laws, you got to follow rules. as in rules in the house, you know what I'm saying? Because if I can't control you in my house, then how society is gonna control you, you know what I'm saying? So the life is, the lesson about that is, everything is a privilege. Don't lose your privilege. Be civilized, you know? That's something I want to let them know about life, because like, and people not gonna always give you everything, so I want to teach them how to be independent and motivate themselves. Like they say, they come from 2 hard-working parents. I work since 16. I'm 19 now. You know what I'm saying? I've been working all my life since. Never stopped. Since I was old. I wanted to work since I was 15. Wasn't old enough. Want to get a permit and everything. I've been working. It's just me, and I'm still working. That's me.
So tell me about your significant other. You guys are married?
We getting there.
Yeah,
we getting there. Like I said, I'm still young. Like, I might as well. I'm going married.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. As the later, as I got my family. You know, we still together after 3 years.
What attracted you to her?
We went to school. Like, and the story about that was like, we went to school with each other. We ain't never really talked to each other. She liked me, but I ain't never really noticed her or whatever. Till some day I seen her, I noticed that we end up talking or whatever, and then we just end up kicking. Like, we ain't never really even asked each other out. Like, that's how crazy we just started. I just ended up going to see her every day, and that ended up to us being together, and like she started telling me like, oh, you better not go meet nobody else, and that when I knew that mean, oh Lord, I'm stamped. That's B right there.
Stamped?
Yeah, I'm stamped. That's B.
That's awesome.
So and ever since that, we just stayed together.
Yeah.
Through thick and thin, stayed together, and just me and her been through a lot.
Yeah.
In 3 years, just me and her, because her parents is deceased. So both of them, mom and dad. So it's like, I'm all she got.
Yeah.
So like, our family is our family. So
yeah, yeah. Well, congratulations again on the baby. I hope everything goes well with that. Do you have any fears or phobias?
Everyone have fears, whether they see it or not. And my fears, willing how Lafayette is going on, like I said, my fear is for anyone to try to hate on my success and try to take me away from my kids, my family. Because in Lafayette, in the music industry in Louisiana, period, the music industry is so crazy. It's so crazy. And you can make a good song. You ain't gotta tell nobody nothing. You can stay to yourself, go to your studio, you can make a good song. But somebody know you, or let's say you blow, or somebody recognizes you before another artist is. Instead of you try to build with that person and try to, work with that man, or they'll hate on you because, they feel like they're better than you. That's just how people is in Lafayette, when in the music industry. So they'll either try to make a song, drop a diss song on you to do anything to try to get the shine, anything for attention, like attention. People want attention or whatever. And my fear is, like you said, like nobody hating on my success. Like I don't want nobody to try to, come take what I got going away from me. Cause like I said, I'm doing all this for my kids and for myself too, cause I know I've been doing this since before I had children. So now I'm looking at it and I'm trying to do this, be recognized, so where I can get plugged in with some people that can really help me push my career like how I'm really supposed to be pushing it. And that's my fear.
Well, let's turn that around and let me ask you, what achievement are you most proud of in your life?
Just being successful, like being a father. That's the best thing. Like I said, I always mention my kids because that's my life, that's my world. Just being a father, that's the best achievement. Cause like I said, it's just having them made me look at things differently. Like, and it made me a better person. Cause I don't know what I would have been doing or what I would have been without them. So that's my achievements, and just like finishing school too. Cause I went to the Youth Challenge program. I don't know if people know about that. That's YCP is a nice program. I don't care what nobody could say. People could say it's a bad place or it's for the bad. No, it's a volunteer place. You volunteer to go. Whenever you're ready to leave, just leave. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody is forced to go over there. It's volunteer, because like some people want to go to the army and they want to know what it's like to live that army lifestyle, what it's like to live in a barracks with 50 people, how to march everywhere you go, how to live differently. It's just like a volunteer place. You can also receive a GED, or that you can get your driver's license, or it's ages 16 to 18. I went there. At first, I didn't want to go because of the stories I heard. But when I went there,
You enjoyed it.
loved it.
You liked that structure.
If I can go back, I would.
Really?
I would.
So you recommend it for
Everybody.
those teens kind of going through some challenges
I
right
recommend it for everybody. The only thing that they wouldn't want to do is leaving your family. But while you leaving your family, you're not leaving your family on a bad note. You're coming home with something. Like you did it. Because I went to Camp Maiden, and on paper, in the United States, that's the hardest camp in the United States.
Wow.
On paper.
Yeah.
Camp Maiden in Bossier City in Shreveport. Up there, and I went there and I graduated. And I mean, if y'all didn't go to the one I went to, and I'm pretty sure y'all can handle it, you know. And it was crazy over there too.
What was tell me about a typical day in the life there. You wake up.
NYCP,
Yeah.
ooh, Lord. 5
Tell me
o'clock in
about
the
the
morning.
routine. Okay.
Okay, 5 o'clock in the morning. You wake up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So I just come in there screaming red line. Red line mean whether you're sleeping or not, they open the lights and everything, like they just red line. You gotta hop up out your bed, put your foot to the red line. You have to have it in a 45-degree angle, have your foot together, a 45-degree angle, have your arms like this at the side of your pants right here. You have to stand straight and you have to say red line, Sergeant, 001, 002, 003, red line, Sergeant. And everybody has to be on that line, like in the front of their bunk saying red line. If somebody's not there on that bunk on time, that's 50 squats, as in 50, because that's how they say it in military words. 50 is equal 50. 50 squats. You gotta up, down squats. Like it teaches you discipline. Like, and other than that, like I said, this is what they'll do. They'll break you down and rebuild you back up. I promise you. I promise you. And that was one achievement I ever did too, going to YCP. Because that made me look at a lot of things. Like I said, it made me be grateful for everything I could have do. Like, you know, my freedom made me be grateful what I had and what, like, you know, what could be taken away from me too. If it's all about your actions, you know. It made me realize a lot. I recommend it for everybody. Everybody.
That's good. Now I know that you were very close to your mother, so was it hard to leave her to go to that program for a while?
At the time I was living with my grandma.
Okay.
Because I left my mom's house when I was like 14.
Okay.
Because she had a husband. Me and her husband really didn't get along like that or whatever. So I went and moved to my grandma or whatever. When I moved to my grandma, I started hanging out with my cousin, a bad influence or whatever. And I was doing good too. Like I was going to school and everything. I just hanged out with my cousin, bad influence. I got caught up. Didn't even do nothing. Was just around, you know. And I just got caught up, and I had to take a charge or whatever I had to do, and that's what ended up sending me to YCP. Okay, so I ended up going over there, and then like I said, it was the best thing I ever did was go over there to YCP. So yeah, that was basically, so like me and my mother, we had a good relationship like growing up, but like when I turned 14, that's when life really hit me. Like that's when like I started doing for myself more. That's when that's what really made me want to get a job when I was 15, because, you know, I didn't really have the help like I had. Like, you know, it was me and my grandma. I had to help my grandma. Like, you know, it was all on me. I had to live early. So that's like, for my age, like, like I said, my head is like, I'm focused on way more. Like, you know, people want to go to the club, want to go party and all that. I'm home with my family. Like, I don't see interest in that. That's just me, and I'm 19 years old.
Yeah,
you're
still very young.
I'm still young, but like I'm still young to do so many things. That's how I look at it. Like I still got my life ahead of me to throw it away. Cause people my age that I grew up, that I went to school with, dying or in jail. I promise you. They just had somebody got killed on Lafayette Street. You know, I knew the dude since I was in elementary, or whatever. So it's like how the life, the path that I was going. That's why I would have ended up dead or in jail. So yeah, really dead or in jail. Why? By hanging out with people that I thought that was my friends. Keep in mind, I told you I was the only boy. I had two sisters. They was older, you know, so I was the little brother. After they stopped playing with toys, I was still playing with toys. So, you know, they just grew up on. So my friends was like my brothers to me, you know. My brothers, so say, but they wasn't really my brothers, you know. I was young and dumb. Like I said, I could tell you that now because I learned from that. Like, you know, I really did. Like, so, yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
10 years, I want to be like I said, I want to be in a house with my family, my children, just comfortable, living the life that I dreamed of. Not the best life, like, you know, not that the rich, like, you know, industry life, but I just want my family to be comfortable. You know, that's all. That's why I see myself in 10 years with my wife, the one I'm with today, you know, because I don't want nobody else. Because, like, I started with her, I'm ending with her. That's how I feel.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, in 10 years, I just want to be, like, in my, like, a normal life, really. I don't want nothing extra. Like I said, I just want my children to finish school, and, yeah, that's why I see myself.
Awesome. Well, I know I asked you a lot of questions. Is there any question that you wish I would have asked that I didn't?
A question that I wish you would have asked, like, what do I go as besides Devin James?
Oh, okay.
Like,
you have a nickname?
Yeah, I go by, like I told y'all, my brand is Shabba-Do. My name is Do. I got it tatted right here, too. I never showed y'all. I got my name tatted, Do. Reason why, and I'm going to spell it for y'all, too, as in D-U-E-E, 2 E's, or whatever. So it's LUHD, L-U-H-H space D-U-E-E. That's me. Like, if you're trying to search me, anything you can search, go on YouTube, Shabba-Do, S-H-O-T, by and do, you know, Shabba-Do, and that's just me. If they trying to look for me, like, you know, you're not going to find me under Devin James, you're going to find me under Do.
How did you get that name?
I was just about to tell you that, too, because my grandma gave me that name as a baby, because she gave us all her names. She gave my sister name Key Butter because she always used to go in the refrigerator and eat butter. She gave me Do because every time you look, I'm always doing something, grabbing something. So she go, there go little Do right there, Do. I didn't want to say Do because they would have called me, like, you know, poo or whatever, no Do. So I just kept Do, like they said, that's Do. So I've been having that name since a child or whatever. So it just came with me, like, you know, and I just like it because everybody call me Do, you know, and just Do. So that's a question that I wish you would ask me too.
All right. Any others? Anything you want to end on?
I can end on this for everybody that's watching. Like I said, if y'all kids and y'all live with y'all parents, respect is the must. Respect, you know, respect your parents to the fullest. You go to school, finish school, you know, ride through it. Because, like, your parents in school is 2 important things that you're going to need in your life as a child, growing up. And you're going to need your parents because if you keep respect with your parent will always fill your head up with knowledge and tips that's going to happen in the future. You know, something that she done been through already, because your parent not going to tell you nothing that they ain't never been through already. So, you know, no matter what you think you know, listen to your parents. Finish school, graduate. Because when you walk across that stage and everybody screaming your name, that's a feeling that you ain't gonna never felt before while you was in school. That's a feeling that you want to feel. That's the reason why you should wake up every morning early and go to school. That feeling to hear your name be in the stadium, you walking across stage. That's the best feeling you can ever have, especially for your parents too. So that's my advice, y'all. Listen to your parents and y'all stay in school. That's the best advice I can give somebody.
All right, dude. Well, that concludes our interview. Thank you so much for being here today. We
You
really
too.
appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.